Ladies and gentlemen, today we stand at a critical juncture in our understanding of one of nature's most formidable phenomena, earthquakes. As we delve into the intricacies of our upcoming report, we must first acknowledge the profound impact these seismic events have had on humanity throughout history. Earthquakes represent not merely a geological challenge, but a vital societal issue that affects millions of lives around the globe. As we explore the detailed findings of our report, we aim to enhance our understanding of earthquake hazards, predict potential impacts, and develop strategies that mitigate risks and protect vulnerable communities. Our focus is not only on the scientific aspects, but also on practical solutions and preventive measures that can be implemented at various scales, from local communities to global initiatives.
I am sure that you have already heard about an earthquake. So what is an earthquake? An earthquake is a sudden and violent shaking of the ground due to the factors affecting the rock materials below the Earth's surface. Earthquake hazards, or also known as seismic hazards, may be experienced depending on the strength of the seismic activity. Now, let's talk about the different earthquake hazards. First is ground shaking. Ground shaking is simply the vibration that we feel during an earthquake. If an earthquake generates a large energy giving enough shaking intensity, infrastructures such as building might experience severe damage.
Ground rupture. Ground rupture occurs when the Earth's surface is visibly broken and misplaced along a fault line during an earthquake. This is a physical manifestation of underground stress release along geological faults. During an earthquake, if the stress on the fault exceeds to the strength of the rock, it breaks and shifts. That will create a rupture that can extend for miles on the surface. This can result in significant displacements along the roads, pipelines, and buildings located directly on the fault.
Liquefaction. Liquefactions happen when saturated soil or sand is shaken during an earthquake and temporarily loses its strength, behaving more like a liquid than a solid. This process typically affects areas with loose, wet, and sandy soils. Under the shaking of an earthquake, these soils lose their ability to support structures, causing them to tilt, sink, or even collapse. The soil behaves like a fluid, allowing structure to move or sink, significantly disrupting infrastructure integrity. Earth-induced landslide. Earth-induced landslides are slides on earth material, such as rock or soil, that occur on slopes destabilized primarily by underground shaking in an earthquake. These landslides result from a combination of factors such as steep slopes, loose or soft soil, rock structure, and soil saturation. Seismic activity can be destabilized already precarious slopes, causing rapid downward movement of materials, which can lead to loss of life and destruction of property. This is particularly dangerous in mountainous or hilly regions.
First is removal of support. At the base of a slope, which may be due to erosion at that toe of a slope by rivers or ocean waves. Next is groundwater or pore water pressure. During sudden changes in the water level of bodies of water adjacent to a slope also act to stabilize it. Next is volcanic eruptions. Budging of slopes and the force of volcanic materials, ejection or emission may also contribute to slope instability.
Next is intense rainfall. Landslide may also be triggered due to the weakening of slope materials by water saturation. Next, earthquakes. Slopes are prone to widespread failure during earthquakes because of the sudden shaking of hilly and mountainous areas. Tsunami is a Japanese term which means harbor waves. Tsunami consists of destructive waves that are generated by earthquakes and other events. These types of waves are not rare occurrences in Japan. All tsunamis are triggered by powerful events that cause sudden displacement of large volumes of water. Remember that tsunamis are a series of waves and may start with a gentle withdrawal of water, followed by a very abrupt arriving wave, followed by another withdrawal. The safest thing to do if you hear a tsunami is coming is to move to a higher ground away from the beach as quickly as possible.
The following are some potential catalysts that could result in a tsunami. 1. Landslide. As a rapidly moving landslide mass enters the water, or as water displaces behind and ahead of rapidly moving underwater landslide. 2. A volcanic eruption or explosion. Any submarine or coastal volcanic activity in products that can trigger tsunamis by displacing large volumes of water.
I hope you've learned something about earthquake hazards. Again, this is Group 12 of 12 SEM A.